Sometimes we can collect qualitative data or categorical data based on one or more category, like this set of data. This set of data was collected by Devin after he surveyed the students in his neighborhood and obtained the following data. So we have two categories here to organize this data with, which is the school level and the school type. So what I did here, I created a contingency table, which contains on the vertical side of the table or the axis, it has the school type. We have elementary schools, we have middle school or high school. On the horizontal side or the horizontal axis, we have the school type, either public or private. So we're going to use the Excel function countifs to do this type of organization a little bit faster. It could be done by hand, but if you do it using Excel, it's going to be a little bit faster. So the function we're going to use is the countifs, which is going to evaluate two sets of data, and it's going to return the number that meets both criteria. So the function goes like that. Countifs, the one with the S, and then the criteria range. The first range of data we're going to check is the school level. So I'm just going to highlight the school level. This is not going to go anywhere, so I need to lock the data in place. If you are on a PC, it's usually the function button, FN, next to the Windows button, between the control button and the Windows button, FN, and then the function F4 at the very top of the keyboard. This ensures that this data is not going to move anywhere. And then comma, we need the criteria. The criteria here is basically we're looking for elementary schools. So I'm going to click on the word elementary school here. And this one, I needed to go down and check the next one, the next criteria, which is middle school and high school. So I'm not going to lock that in place. Comma. Again, the second range that I'm going to check is the school type range, which is this column right here. So I'm just going to highlight it. Again, I will lock it in place, FN, F4, comma. The criteria here is public or private. So I'm going to choose public first. And since I don't want this to change, this is the column that has all the public schools, I am going to lock that in place. So I clicked on it and then FN, F4 to lock it in place. And then I will enter, and that is going to count how many elementary schools that are public in my data I have. Instead of repeating this function, now that I did the locking in place, I can basically double click to populate. You see that the total doesn't work here because the total is not a criteria that we see here. So we can compute that by using the sum function. So we can say sum, and we need to add everything in this column. So that is 10 schools. And if you look here, you will see that we have 3 elementary schools that are public, and we have 2 middle schools that are public, and we have 5 high schools that are public if you double check your data. We will do the same thing with the private. So what I like to do, I like just to copy this formula over, and then I can fix it. So I go to the formula here in the formula bar, and I see the range is the same, the criteria is not. So I will change the criteria to elementary school again, and then I will change this I5 to J5, which is, I'm just going to remove it and click on the word private here and then lock that in place, FN, F4. And then I'm going to populate. Again, you see here we have 1 elementary school that is private, 5 middle schools that are private, and one high school that is private. And then I can find the sum. The sum, I can just drag this formula to the side, and it's going to compute that for me. And then I can find the totals here, so I can find the sum of this cell and this cell, and then I can just populate and then I can do the same here. So I can basically say I need to drag this here. So this is how you create a contingency table using the countifs function, which is going to save you some time if you have a huge set of data and a lot of categories to sort your data with. You definitely can do that by hand, but it saves you some time to practice using the countifs function. I hope this helped, and I will see you in a different video.